some details and broaden the scope of awareness with the public as we work together to locate Judge Kosik. Joining me today is U.S. Attorney Bruce Brandler, Resident Agent in charge of the FBI office, Sean Quinn, Troop Bar Captain of the Pennsylvania State Police, Chris Paris, Covington Chief of Police, Bernie Klockow, and Chief Deputy U.S. Marshal for the Middle District of Pennsylvania, Tony Nelson. At approximately 4 p.m. yesterday, the family of Judge Kosik filed a missing persons report with Covington Township Police Department. What we know at this time is the following. Information suggests that Judge Kosik departed his residence at approximately 11 p.m. on March 28th. His vehicle, a 2015 gray Acura RDX, has damage on the driver's door, which is unrelated to this incident. And this vehicle is believed to have been used in his disappearance. When he departed, his wallet and telephone were not taken. Recent information indicates that at approximately 11:05 p.m., Judge Kosik was last seen attempting to enter the Bill's ShopRite in Covington Township on the drugstore entrance area of the business. The store was closed, and he made a departure in his vehicle onto Route 502. His residence is to the right, and he made a left. No additional confirmed sightings since that time frame have been reported as of this moment. Communications with the family has revealed that Judge Kosik is taking medicine to aid in memory loss. It is possible this may have contributed to his unknown whereabouts. With that said, at this time, we also cannot rule out a criminal nexus to this case. Interviews are being conducted with people in the community, and we are hopeful for a positive result. The federal court family has expressed their concern for their colleague, and I have a quote from Chief Judge Christopher C. Connor. Our entire court is obviously very worried about our dear colleague, and we are hoping for a quick and safe return. We wish to emphasize that any and all sightings and responses to this event and the Silver Alert be directed to law enforcement. Thank you, end quote. We are in the beginning stages of this investigation. The FBI and the Pennsylvania State Police are playing a very pivotal role as we piece this together. PSP has aerial resources committed and increased patrols on various routes. And the U.S. Marshals and the FBI and now PSP as well in Covington Township are working together in every effort to try to find Judge Kosik. I think most of us know who Judge Kosik is, but I think it's important to address with the public his last known descriptors. He is believed to be wearing blue jeans, a blue waist-length winter jacket, and has a bruise on the left side of his forehead, which is unrelated to his disappearance. While much work has been done, we again are in the beginning stages of this investigation. We are here today asking the public to help us locate Judge Kosik. Anyone with information can call 911 or our office at 570-346-7277, extension 0. And with that, I'll answer any questions at this time that the media may have.
Marty, I know you said that you can't rule out any criminal possible behavior. Is there any indication that there may be any type of foul play?
Well, I can't rule that out at this time. The interviews that we've conducted will not allow me to rule that out at this time. It's a topic that I can't really touch at this moment because of the investigation that's being conducted.
Did you live alone, and can you go over the part about the memory problems again?
Well, you know, the U.S. Marshal Service is responsible for the protection of the judiciary. They obviously have their own residence and areas of what happens at his house at this time, and because of security protocols, I would rather not touch on that topic. Regarding his memory loss, as I indicated, he's taken medicine for that, and you know, it may have contributed to why we're here today. So I think I
Is that
could
just
say.
recent memory problems, or?
Well, that's part of the investigation. We're looking into that at this time.
Can you tell
Does
me
he-
what kind of
excuse me.
clothing he was last seen, and again, if you could repeat that, please?
Sure, he's wearing blue jeans, a blue winter jacket that is at waist length. He has a pair of, not necessarily shoes, but somewhat of that have at least shoe ties. It's not a slip-on shoe.
Any name brand?
No, not.
You said that when his house was right and he went left, where would like the direction of left be going? So if people in
Well, sure. Bill's Shopping Center is a fine establishment. It's a grocery store that has a pharmacy as well. I will say that it is nearby his residence. When you depart, when you exit, there's two ways of exiting. One is on Route 435, the other is Route 502. What I'll say is to the right would have been a direction that he normally should have taken. We are confident that he made it left, which is a concern for us.
I apologize if you had said this earlier, but did he have a cell phone with him, any way to contact?
No, most of us, right, do not depart our residence. It's like a piece of us today without our cell phone and or your wallet. And both of those items were left at the residence.
Was he seen on surveillance, or like how was he spotted at that store/pharmacy?
Yeah, we are reviewing some surveillance now, and I would suggest that, while I don't want to confirm that 100%, I would suggest that that is a logical thought process that you have.
Who has been interviewed so far in this investigation? Can you speak to that?
Well, we don't want to divulge that information at this time. There are several people that have been interviewed as it relates to this investigation, and it's extensive.
I imagine some of those are family members' assumption. Did he seem confused in the 48 hours leading up to the disappearance in any way?
Well, we have had discussions with family, and I don't know if that would be a classification I would want to put on Judge Kosik, but it is safe to say that there has been some, he's taken some medicine for some memory loss. Yeah.
When did he go inactive, if that is the proper term?
It was reported in the media. It's not that long ago, maybe within the last 2 months approximately.
So he doesn't have any active cases right now, or anything?
Yeah, again, if the media would like to get a statement from the court, that is possible as it relates to his status.
Did he go shopping at the ShopRite, or he just drove through the ShopRite?
Well, given the time frame, the store was closed.
Can you give us a description of what kind of memory loss medicine he's taking? Is it diagnosed as dementia? Can you release that information?
No, I'm not going to go into his
Okay.
personal HIPAA information at this time.
Can I ask maybe Captain Paris or Chief, just to describe from their perspectives what they're doing kind of in the local area? I know, Captain, you've got 435, 502, 380, which is very close there. Can you talk about what you're doing?
Sure. We were alerted yesterday, and our uniformed patrols have been out there aggressively looking in those areas. This morning at 9:30, a PSP helicopter took off with an aerial observer and have conducted a grid search, starting with his residence, moving out to areas that the investigation thus far has noted that he frequented. However, at this point, He is entered into NCIC, as is his car, so our hope is that the force multiplier, as a result of the work that the media will do, will help us identify. We don't have, aside from that last direction of travel that the Marshal spoke about, we don't have an area. We believe that the car had a full tank of gas, so we're asking for as much help as we can from the public in terms of identifying him or his vehicle.
Do you plan on doing any more aerial searches? I don't know if it's
Yes, I mean,
right now.
the helicopter, as I was leaving, was landing for more fuel, and we will continue to search.
Question on the timeline. The initial missing persons report indicated that he was last seen at his residence at around 1:30 a.m. on March 29th. And you're saying that he was seen last seen earlier than that, right? A couple hours earlier.
Right, so some information through our checks with the various businesses and surveillance cameras that may be available have helped us narrow down that time. That was the initial information that we had, and we've been able to narrow that down to a better, accurate time.
What time was that again?
Approximately 11:05.
Obviously, you probably don't know which way he went, but do you believe he's still in the area, or even could be New Jersey, New
Well,
York State?
Through your help in getting this information out to the public, we are starting to receive some calls that, which at this time we're investigating to try to confirm, which may help us get into an area that we're more confident or may believe that he's in an area that those leads are indicating to us. But they're being investigated at this time, so we do not, and I would not want to speculate, because they may be inaccurate.
Were those tips still in the area, or were they out of state?
They are, a couple of them are within the area, yes.
Can you tell us, and you might not be able to, can you tell us if there was a conversation had before he left for the store that maybe indicated what he was going there for at that time?
No, I cannot say that a conversation took place that would allude us to know that he was gonna go there.
Yeah.
At this time, can you say it's more likely that this is related to memory, that he perhaps became confused or disoriented, more likely that than something nefarious?
Well, I'm not gonna speculate at this time. We are not at that point in the investigation that we can speculate to that level of confidence, as you indicated.
I know that you said that there was a full tank of gas. Do you know what mileage it would be, like 200 miles, 250? So
Well,
people surrounding Covington Township would be able to.
Sure. I mean, an Acura RDX is a small SUV similar to a Honda CR-V. I'm not familiar at this very moment as to what the exact mileage capabilities are due to rural versus highway. But I would suspect that you could go quite far, probably easily out of the state with that kind of vehicle and a full tank of gas. Any other questions? Well, sorry.
The
Any other-
damage on his car, was it prior damage?
Yes, it's unrelated, prior damage. That's just a descriptor so the public is aware in the media. Hopefully, if you would kindly report that, we'd appreciate it, so the public may recognize that vehicle. There are probably several Honda RDXs, Acura RDXs in the community, so that is something that might stand out to somebody that hopefully notices it.
Do you know what kind of damage? Are we talking a dent, a ding?
It's more of a dent. I would classify it as an indentation as opposed to like a side swipe scrape or something of that nature. Okay, any other questions? Well, I want to thank you for coming here. I think it's important to try to get the community involved here to try to help locate Judge Kosik. He's a great man who's had a great career, and we're hopeful through your help and assistance in getting this message out there that we will have a successful ending to this. And any updates, we'll let you know through normal chains that we typically do. And thank you for your time.